Hey guys, we're at the Big Bang charity event. We're gonna introduce you to some superheroes this morning, and they come in all shapes and sizes.
It's a beautiful day, don't you know? It's a beautiful day.
This is The Thread.
That's right, there's superheroes in our midst every single day, doing all sorts of things to improve the community. This party's a result of a few. Those at Circle of Advisors Securus. It's a Big Bang charity event, and it's a party with a purpose.
The Big Bang charity event is an event that we put together probably starting about 5 years ago, and we had a tornado that went through our neighborhood. We had a big 4th of July celebration, but it never meant anything other than just celebrating 4th of July. We decided to make the party a charity event, and everybody said it was a lot more fun as a charitable event than it was as just a party. Even though they had fun, they felt like they were giving back.
We like to help with the community. We like to bring the community together. We've got businesses in Cottleville, bringing our clients out, bringing our family, bringing our friends together. We've got about 365 people coming today. It's truly, this was an undertaking, but the fruits of it I feel like are just giving back to the community and tying in and just showing the community that everyone can work together. I didn't even really go out to businesses. They were calling me asking how they could help. And it was amazing how this all came together. I couldn't do it by myself. We had photographers, photo booths, people wanting to pitch in and just say, you know, can I bring popcorn? Can I do the food? Can I do this fireworks?
People in this community, I have to tell you, they are the most generous people I've ever seen.
But why is it important for you and other businesses to invest in the community?
You hold each other up, you help each other, support each other. We want to show them that we do care and that we want to make sure that they know that we're here for them if we can.
The fact that the community has come together, that in and of itself is a success. 365 people here today, that's a success.
What a great idea. You've got the party going on. You might as well make it a party with a purpose and help support those organizations that are building the community and our country up. I gotta love that. Now I'm getting a chance to do a little cornhole action.
No, that's not how you do it. You gotta get a strong form, strong base, strong arm, like you're holding a fire hose. You take it, you spin it, you throw it, just like that. No, that's not how you do it. Watch this.
Okay.
Strong. Throw it. Just like that. That's how you do it.
Whoa, hey, aren't you with the Cottleville Firefighters Outreach?
Yes, sir. Cody Woolbright. I'm the president of the Outreach, and I'm a firefighter at the Cottleville Fire District.
Man, y'all really do help people out in all kinds of ways.
That's what we do. That's what we're here for.
And more than just cornhole.
We're a nonprofit that promotes safety and wellness in our community. We're volunteer-led by firefighters and community members. It started with firefighters wanting to do more after our calls. So we would go on emergencies, we would see families in need, and then we'd have the opportunity to provide them with care even after we go back to the firehouse. So our off-duty firefighters built this nonprofit so that we could keep helping people after the alarm ended. Well, it's probably no secret that firefighters don't get to see the best of everybody's lives, right? So we see some pretty horrible stuff sometimes. What this gives our firefighters the opportunity to do is see the other side of it and get to do more than just stop the emergency, but to keep helping somebody. And then as the community became more involved, they found that they had a lot of neighbors that wanted to support them and continue supporting what we're doing to help other people in their neighborhood. So Cottleville Firefighters Outreach promotes safety and wellness through various programs. A lot of them support kids, people that are going through challenging life situations. We also promote safety and wellness through crisis assistance, which is supporting families that are going through challenging situations as a whole. It might be financial aid, it might be home improvements, or it might be preparing their home if they've had a recent illness or injury in the family. So we work with the local school districts to provide hundreds of coats every year. I think we're up to almost 900 coats over the last couple of years for kids that otherwise wouldn't have new winter coats that fit them. The Haunted Trail is one of our fundraisers, and we also endorse that as a community event. It's something that we try and get the community involved in, both to come out and see it and have a good time, but also to come out and work it and volunteer. Every time we have a kid that comes out to the firehouse and has a great time, whether they're going through a challenging life situation or they just want to see the fire truck, it's a huge win in my book. You know, it reminds them that there's people out there that's always trying to help them, that there's something that they can aspire to be if they work hard, and that there's good role models out there if they're looking for them.
Those guys are just some of the hardest working guys I've ever seen in my life. They are so compassionate. They give back to the community more than, you know, any other community I've ever seen.
You know, we run on these calls that are you know, emergencies in nature. But if we can get ahead of that and we can help people before it becomes an emergency, then we've done our jobs before we ever have to leave the engine house. And then it also gives us an opportunity to help people that we otherwise might not be able to. They might not ask us for help. So having the opportunity to help people even before they ask and providing aid to people that normally wouldn't ask for it is our #1 goal. And I love that our firefighters always come back from that thankful that they did it, and there's never a gripe. Nobody's ever saying, oh, it's more work or anything. They're so proud to do what they do, and they know that that day they were more than their job.
What an amazing organization, doing whatever they can to serve the community in whatever way possible. I mean, just take a look around here at this party. A lot of these folks have been served in some way or another by the Cottleville Firefighters Outreach, including Will Klein. Here's his story.
At one time, I was a leader of the Cottleville Weldon Spring Chamber of Commerce. I'm involved with a group called Vision Leadership, St. Charles County, and very active in the Realtor Association. I take care of the gardens and the parks here as kind of a hobby. More things, I'm involved on the advisory board of the ambulance district, and I'm on the county parks board for St. Charles County as well. And then a father of 5, that doesn't really slow me down much either. My brother and I lost our father when he was only 48 years old, so I was kind of the oldest living male in the family at 28. So I made a goal at 28 to outlive my father. He died of heart failure, so I go every 6 months, and on one of those random checkups, I got a call that I was in end-stage renal disease. So you have less than 5% function, and if we wait till the morning, you most likely could be dead by morning. It was more of a shock or surprise, because we sat in the hospital for 2 days. The first person to show up was a guy named Skip Stevens, who's now one of the captains with the fire department here in Cottleville. And he was very active in the Cottleville Firefighters Outreach, otherwise known as CFO. It was just a great feeling to have somebody come that wasn't family, that just cared enough to show up. And it really kind of reminded me of how great that organization can be. Stopped by when they were out with a fire truck run and brought food to my kids who were at home. There was times when we got financially challenged, and they really did help us out. They actually put a fundraiser together here in town, and the firemen showed up to kind of assist with that as well. It really did kind of flip the script, because I was all about the community, volunteering, donating time, donating money, and all of a sudden I became a recipient. They're just such great members of the community. It's not just about when there's an emergency. There's playgrounds that, you know, they helped fund that wouldn't be in this community if it wasn't for them. They do a haunted trail in the fall that's a lot of fun. There are thousands of people that go through these trails. It's a huge event, and all that money is to raise money to help the community out. And they do it with every single event they do. And if there's any opportunity where I am physically able, I am there for the firefighters, for Cottleville Firefighters organization and our community at any opportunity I can. I'm indebted.
There it is again, a familiar theme. We talk about it every week on this show. People serving people, loving the next person who crosses your path, and it never gets old. We got more stories like that coming your way in just a bit, but right now, I gotta get a burger.
Our first mission is bring glory to God. That's why we're here. We have a talent, it just happens to be banking.
So M1 Bank is banking on a mission, fueled by the power of purpose.
It gets a point in your life where you gotta live it every day, not just believe it.
I'm believing that this is going to catch on and we're all going to shred up.
For us in our house, this is how we're going to serve the Lord and His purpose. And we're going to do it through the financial institution that happens to be called M1 Bank.
Do you know someone who is committed to changing lives in your community? Well, don't keep it a secret. Tell us about it. We're always looking for story ideas from all around the area, and you can help us find them. If you know of a neighbor or a good Samaritan devoting their time and talents to helping others, then go to our website and send us an email to sowhat@thethreadstl.com. You can also contact us on our Facebook page, and you just might see it on the thread because we love sharing the good news happening all around our town.
Hey Threadheads, I cannot begin to tell you what a joy and an honor it is for us to share these stories of people serving people in our community. What an amazing gift it is. But we can't do this show without you. This is a nonprofit 501c3 entity, a ministry that we want to continue to grow and continue to showcase these amazing folks in our community, but we can't do it without you. Please support us. Go to thethreadstl.com. Help us continue the mission and continue to thread up, y'all. It's hard to believe we're in season 3 of The Thread, considering that in the beginning, Virginia and I knew next to nothing about owning a show or running a nonprofit. Circle of Advisors Securus has been a part of the Thread Circle of Advisors since day 1, walking alongside us as we walk out this new journey that God has called us to. And if they can help a couple of hot messes like me in Virginia, they can certainly help you too.
Tim, we've been proud to walk alongside of the Thread, and we'd be honored to walk alongside of you too.
Welcome back to The Thread. We're at the Circle of Advisors Securus Big Bang Charity Event, a party that pays back those organizations that are serving our community in amazing ways. And you know, community is an interesting word. It's not just those that are in close proximity to us. There's that broader community known as our country. And this organization serves those who served us by making the ultimate sacrifice.
Folds of Honor is basically a big charity that we provide scholarships for fallen service members' families to go to school, 100% and disabled service members' families to go to school, honoring that sacrifice that they've made and educating that legacy. It got started by a man named Major Dan Rooney. He was on a Southwest flight heading to Grand Rapids, Michigan. And when it landed, the captain came over the speaker and said, "Hey, we have a hero among us." And then as he looks out the window, the casket of a fallen soldier gets taken off. But by that time, most of the plane is left already. And he just felt this hand of God on his shoulder and said, "Hey, I need to make a difference. I need to do something," because there was a young child out there with his hands on the coffin. And he's like, how is he going to continue his life? He got the idea and he went back home, went in the basement of his house in Oklahoma and started Folds of Honor. 11 years later, $100 million later, 16,000 scholarships later, and it's still moving strong.
To lose your loved one would be horrible, you know, and not know how to live the rest of your life out.
And I've seen that aftermath. I've seen, especially our operators' families that just, you know, I've seen the devastation left behind. I'm like, yeah, I'm totally on board, whatever you need me to do. It's important because we need to understand what that sacrifice is. You know, the sacrifice that you just basically wrote it, when you're in the military, you're writing a check to the country, paid in full to the United States of America up to and your life. And that's exactly what soldiers do. We go over and we protect what this country is. We have to make sure that they are taken care of. And that's because we never see the mission as simple. It's first of all, everyone comes back alive, number one. And number two is take care of the guys that took care of you. You know, and these are guys that you're doing platoons with, these are guys you're training with, these are guys that you're with, and you're with their families, you're with their kids. And for me, it's like, okay, well, he's not there anymore, then who's gonna take care of these kids? Who's gonna have that Friday night pizza? Who's gonna be with them with their ball games? Who's gonna be with them educating them? Who's gonna be to make sure that they grow up? And it's us, make sure it's our responsibility to do that. We have to do that.
And at the end of the day, they need support. They need to know that the people that their husband or wife went to defend are here to help them in response to that.
Nothing can take away that loss, right? That loss will always be there. However, now they're educated and they've gone to school, which is fantastic. When you see them, like you see the recipients and they're done, they're moving on to great things. They always miss their families, but you know what? They're happy. They have good jobs, and they're passing the word, and they're moving on with their lives the best way that they can. We got to do what we can do. We're still probably about, you know, a couple thousand unfunded scholarships that we have to do, and we have to turn them away, and we don't want to, but we just put them on the list, and the more money comes in, then we just start get them as fast as we can get them out. And so that's why I like events like this. We're going to raise some money, raise some scholarships, you know, so we send more people to school. Like today is a win. You want to see a win? Today's a win. Because look at all these people are coming here. We got people like Shreves that are putting this on. We got a concert in every city. It's to benefit Folds of Honor.
What's this done for you to be a part of this?
Just because I retired doesn't mean that I'm done. You know, and that's my person. A lot of military like that too. As you get out, it's like, hey, what can I do to take care of those guys overseas? Because overseas, we're all shooting, moving, communicating, and doing what we need to do. Okay, when we come back, that mission doesn't end. It's just a different mission. I'm not going to stop supporting my guys at all. You know, and that's just the way it is. The military is just a big family.
Is there any end to this mission?
Nope.
For you?
Nope, all the way until I'm up there with the pearly gates, you know. Until my mortar coil's done, I'm still gonna be doing it.
Wow. What a story, what an organization, and what a need. And there's so many needs out there and so many organizations that are moving to meet them, and that's a powerful one. Folks who have laid down their life, supporting their families for their service to us and our country.
My name is Noah Verkler. I'm from Kingfisher, Oklahoma, and I'm currently attending the University of Oklahoma.
My name is Molly Elkins, and I'm from Owings, Maryland. I'm currently attending the University of Scranton.
My name is Matt Schaefer. I'm a current third year at the University of Virginia.
My name's Mary Worrell, and I'm currently a freshman at William & Mary.
I'm Hannah Cavalli. I'm a freshman at St. Mary's College in Notre Dame, Indiana.
I am Destiny Nicole Elliott from Columbus, Georgia. I'm attending Georgia State University.
I would like to thank Folds of Honor, supporters, and donors for helping me to pursue my dreams.
I'm the youngest of 6 children and am responsible for paying for most of my college education, so this scholarship is extremely helpful.
Folds of Honor has really made my education much more accessible.
I'd like to thank Folds of Honor for providing me with the scholarship that's being able to be used towards my housing so that I don't have to worry about that.
I am now on my way to pursue a bachelor's degree to become a news anchor and reporter.
I'd like to thank the Folds of Honor for my scholarship, as my mom's a disabled Army veteran, and this scholarship is a huge help for both me and my family as I pursue my educational goals.
Pretty cool. Hey, who's ready for a party? Ready for some fun? Well, it's time for the hot seat, right here on the thread. Oh yeah, it's time for the hot seat. We got Garrett Ryan in the hot seat. All right, Garrett, here's the deal. He's got his closest friends around to help him out. 30 seconds on the clock, 5 questions. The clock will start after I ask the first question. In honor of the Big Bang charity event, every answer has the word bang in it. Okay?
Okay.
Every answer has the word woo. All right. When fireworks go off, they often make a big
boom.
Bang. Not bang.
Oh.
Bang. 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 They all have bang in it.
Come on.
All right, okay.
Questions, 30
there you go.
seconds.
When you let your hair grow long in the front, that is called
bang.
Yeah. When you get a bargain on something, it could be said that you got more
bang for your buck.
Yeah. Country in South Asia.
Bangladesh.
Yeah. And this 80s band taught us how to walk like an Egyptian.
The Bengals.
The Bengals.
Yeah! Yeah, guess what? You just conquered the hot seat! Hey, Threadheads, you no doubt know Don Brown.
Don Brown Chevrolet? Don Brown Chevrolet. Don Brown Chevrolet.
And you probably know that Don has a flair for fashion and a knack for cars, but he also has a heart for people.
I learned from my father a long time ago, it's not about one person, it's about the entire community. It is a car business, but it's a people business. It's about the people. It's not about the products, it's about the people.
If you're in the market for a car, come to Don Brown, where it's people over process.
And we're proud to be part of the Thread family, and we'd love to be part of your family.
Hey, Threadheads, thanks for joining us this morning. Are you picking up on a theme here? We're like bringing joy, creating community, transforming lives. That's what this show is all about. We are so much stronger when we come together than we ever are when we separate and divide. We want to continue this mission. We want to help this city thread up and be the most it can be. So, you want to be a part of the team? You want to help us on that mission? Go to thethreadstl.com and learn how you can be a threadhead and help us thread up, y'all.
Heavy rains and thunderstorms are saturating the St. Louis area. Our rivers and streams are on the rise and the ground is drenched. Now weather forecasts call for even more rain throughout the month. Overland flooding is a very real possibility and your home could be at risk. We all live in a flood zone and MSD wants to make sure you are protecting your home from flood damage. Go to knowyourzone.org to learn what you need to do to safeguard your property.
What? Our time's almost up together already? You mean I gotta wait till next Saturday? That's way too long. We gotta catch up during the week. I got a great idea. Hey, why don't you follow us on social media? Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You know, we've got content that doesn't actually fit on our 30-minute show, right? And we're adding new messages all the time. So follow us, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. It's our way to keep up with you throughout the week. And we can thread up all week long. Follow us, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. See you soon. There it is.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It's a pleasure.
The community that balloons together stays together. And community is a big thing here, as we've already shown. And What does community mean to the people here? Why is community important?
Because it's the foundation of our society. We're here for people. It's what we do. It's where you grow up. It's where you raise your children. You want to show your kids that this is where you live, this is where you support.
Safety, security, we live right around the street, so anything in Cottleville that's growing up is good for us, good for the neighborhood, brings everybody together.
It's the foundation of our society, and without it, we'd probably be crumbling.
Community is important because we can't do anything alone. We do everything that we do together, and that's the only way to get things done.
It's important because we like to give back and be part of the community. It's a good feeling to be involved with the community and do all we can because the community's been good to us.
I think community is important so you can all be together and grow together, get to know more people around, become like one big family.
It's family. It's family, and everything's all about family. God made families, made us to live in families, and we gotta act like a family.
That's all that you have at the end of the day is to spend time with the people that you care about.
Yeah, that's right.
Firefighters, by nature, we love helping people, right? And then the community is an extension of our neighborhood and our closest family. And so we think it's important that we support our community, we continue to grow, and we include the community as a whole in our families.
How important is community to you?
Oh, it's everything. It's like in the SEAL teams, we're a small community. You know, we take care of one another. That's what communities do. You get everyone with a common purpose and a vision, and they all jump on board and agree with it, and they go with it. And so that's the beauty of a community. I love it.
Community is important because just from everything from schools to churches to our health, we all have to rely on each other, and if we get more and more isolated, then that just leads to our demise, so we have to find more ways to connect with each other rather than find ways to be against each other.
We have the same principles that you have in your show, and that is honor God and help people.
At the end of the day, you guys just cared about people, and I think that that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to care about other people. Compassion.
Community is all about relationships. And at the end of the day, when it's time for us to go into our graves and be done with our lives, the quality of our relationships is really the value of our lives. And so it all ties back into community, because that's really what community is relationships.
It's all about relationships. It's all about people loving on people with the love they've received in Christ Jesus. And it's an ongoing thing. Our Faith Walk doesn't have a retirement plan. We keep going. It doesn't stop. It's not something we do just on Sundays or for a few hours or even for a season. It's something that we continue to do throughout our lives. Look at the Cottleville Firefighters outreach, right? They serve people in their capacity as firefighters, but they found other ways that they can invest and serve the community in their off time, in their downtime, and any time they have. Like Will Klein. Will Klein had a need and they just moved to meet it. How about Darren McBennett with Folds of Honor? Retired Navy SEAL. He thought the mission was over when he retired, but he realized the mission just continues. It just looks a little different. Now he invests in serving those families who have lost a loved one on the field of battle, making sure they have a future, one that's secure, and supporting them. Even a 4th of July celebration can turn into a celebration of what God is doing in and through people when it's done the way the Shreves did it at their Big Bang charity event. You know, in Paul's first letter to Timothy, chapter 4, he's telling him about and instructing him on how to be a good servant of Christ Jesus. And he talks about things like training yourself for godliness, teaching others, not neglecting your gifts. But then in verse 16, he says, keep a watch on yourself and on the teachings. Persist in this, for by doing so you will save yourself and the hearers. Persist in this. Don't stop. Keep going. There's no retirement plan. There's no time clock. We're to do it for our entire lives. I mean, look at Jesus. He moved to the needs that he encountered along the way. It wasn't a destination and place. It was people that just crossed his path when he was on his way somewhere. We're supposed to do the same thing, love the next person who crosses our path. You know, there was a missionary who was overseas, and it was getting close to Christmas time, and he and his wife were gonna go home for Christmas. And their boat got delayed that they were supposed to catch, so they walked around town, and there was a tent village there. And he went up to the tent village, and he talked to some of the folks, and he said, how do y'all like to celebrate Christmas? And they said, well, we don't celebrate Christmas, we're Jewish. And he goes, okay, well, when you have a big event, how do y'all like to celebrate? And he goes, well, there's this special bread we love at the bakery that we use for celebrations. So the missionary and his wife cashed in their tickets and went and bought as much bread as they could and brought it to that community and gave it to them. He was telling this story in a seminary to a class of students, and one in the back of the class was raising his hand, just dying to ask a question. He was finally called on. He said, "Why did you do that for those people? They're not Christians." And the missionary replied, "No, but I am." That's what we're called to do. The verse we talk about all the time on this show, John 13:34, "A new commandment I give to you, love one another. As I have loved you, love one another." But verse 35 says, "By this they will know you're my disciples, by your love of one another." We're to love on people. Any chance, in any way we can, moving to the needs around us, loving the next person who crosses our path, because we've been loved by God through Christ Jesus. Amen? That brings us to the end, but not the end. You know what I'm talking about. Say cheese!
Tim, get out of the booth, there's a line!
All right!
Spot Media Production Group.